Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am back with another video about a flight attendant interview. I decided to make this video because I just remembered that I still have the notes with questions and answers that I used for my interview. I thought, why don't I share that with you? Some of you might know that there are different kinds of flight attendant interviews. Phone interview, a video interview. Of course, there's always the face-to-face interview, which is exactly what I will be talking about in this video. Luckily for me, I only had to go through the face-to-face interview for both of my airlines. For both of these interviews, I came really well prepared because I really wanted to get this job. And as you can see, it worked. Since I still have those questions and answers, I would like to share them with you. Also, I'd like to mention how important it is to come to your interview well prepared, because if you're not prepared, if you're just showing up for the interview and hoping for the best that you will ace those questions, the interviewer will see that, especially with those questions that are situational, where you have to come up with an example. It will be very evident to them that you did not do the homework. I will prepare you for your face-to-face interview and give you some of the most popular questions that your recruiter might ask you and some of the answers that I found to be the best. All of my answers are based on the research that I have done prior to my interview. I kind of went on different websites, as well as I took some of the answers from YouTube. I took the best things out of all of those resources and combined them together. Okay, shall we? Tea is life. Question number 1. It's a very popular question. You will most likely get this one. Why do you want to be a flight attendant? So for this question, the first thing you have to remember, don't tell them that you want to be a flight attendant because you love to travel. They already know that you love to travel, otherwise you wouldn't be applying for this job, right? What you want to tell them is something along the lines of, I love meeting new people and I am passionate about making their travels a superior experience. Traveling can be stressful, so I want to be there for my passengers. Also, I want to become more cultural by seeing more of the world, which again will help me in being a better flight attendant. You want to let them know that you are passionate about customer service, you care about the passenger's experience on the flight, and you want to become more cultural. Don't say that you want to travel, because you will get the travel benefits either way, and you will be traveling in this job. That's self-explanatory, okay? Another question that I had prepared for was, what's your customer service philosophy? I personally didn't get this question in my interview. The answer to this question would be, first off, my main goal when it comes to customer service is to make the passengers choose, you would put your airline, every single time for their vacation travels. You don't have to say vacation travels. I just put it there because my airline is a vacation airline, pretty much. I believe that in order to achieve that, I have to meet and exceed their expectations consistently, meaning on every single flight. Consistency is a big deal because you can't be nice and great to your customers on an outbound flight, and on the inbound flight you are already tired and you really don't care anymore. Be your best on every single flight. You have to meet the expectations of the passengers and exceed their expectations. Some of these questions will be situational, so I can't really give you an answer to that because they will be specific to your experiences, your previous work experience, and your life experience. You will have to come up with an example of something that they'll be asking you. For example, this next question is, name a time you had a problem with a customer and what did you do? Okay, for this question, I'm still gonna read the answer to you of what I told them. Don't use this because you have to come up with your own. I'll just give you the idea of how this should sound. So I said, there was a time when our plane had a broken APU, so we didn't have air conditioning on the ground. The flight was a bit delayed and it was a hot day, so passengers started getting upset. Since I was the only flight attendant on the plane, all the rage came down on me. I communicated with the pilots frequently on any updates about departure time, while giving out water to everyone in the back. Generally, I find that the main reason passengers get upset is because nobody tells them what's going on. I don't take upset passengers personally and always keep them updated on what's happening, always reiterating that safety is our main priority. This is the kind of answer you would be given to this question. Next question is, describe a time when you had to work with a difficult coworker and what did you do? For this question, I also pulled an example from my previous flight attendant job. I said, I had a disagreement with a fellow flight attendant once about setting up a galley cart. In my airline, everyone set up their carts differently for service. So when he was taking over the plane, he got upset because of the way I left my galley cart. So I just listened to him and asked him to show me what's a better way to set it up. The way he did it was actually more practical and easier, so I started doing it like that. That just goes to show that sometimes there are certain ways people prefer to do things, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily the best or the only way to do it. For this kind of question, you wanna give them a situation that you had with your coworker that you have resolved and you learned something from it. Even when these questions have a negative tone to them, you always want to end your answer on a positive note, just like I did here. I said, like, I listened to my coworker, that shows I'm a good listener, and I'm a good team player. Next question. If you were the lead flight attendant and one of the crew members didn't want to do their job, how would you handle it? This question is asking about your leadership skills. For this question, I said, I would communicate our roles clearly and motivate them to do their job. If they still refuse to do it, I would do it myself and ask a fellow senior flight attendant what to do in this situation. Guys, my phone keeps cutting off because there's not enough memory and I can't see when it cuts off the video, so I keep filming and then I find out that it stops recording. I had to flip my camera to the frontal camera. Just disregard. Let's continue with the video. Okay, so if you are the lead flight attendant and somebody doesn't want to do their job, you want to keep it on your level before you escalate it and take it to the upper management, because that flight attendant will find out that you reported them. They will get back to you. They will make your life live in hell. You will not want to be on the same flight with them. So try to resolve this issue on your level. Try to talk to them, see what's going on, see why they're not doing the work, and ask the advice from the senior flight attendants, because they have most likely seen issues with their fellow coworkers and they probably have some kind of advice for you on how to resolve this kind of situation. Next question is, name 3 reasons you are fit for this job. I answered that I do well under pressure, I am passionate about customer service, and I adapt quickly. I said those 3 things because I think they are super important for the job as a flight attendant. They want to know that you do well under pressure because you will get a lot of stress at this job from delays, all kinds of mechanical issues, weather, and the passengers will get upset. They will yell at you even though these issues are completely out of your control and there's nothing you can do about that, about the weather or maintenance delays. So you have to do well under pressure, and you want to let your recruiter know that you will not crack under pressure. You have to be passionate about customer service, because once again, if you're not passionate, you might not be able to tolerate all of the things that you will have to deal with. You have to adapt quickly, because in this job you will find that we get a lot of reassignments, and if you are, for example, scheduled for a specific city, like you have a layover in Varadero, you might end up going to like Saskatoon, pack warm clothes and a bikini. You'll get all kinds of things. Next question. Why should we hire you as a flight attendant? Because I'm the best. Oh, okay, I'm just kidding. For this question, there's no way around it. You have to sell yourself. Well, say something like, I have strong communication skills which allow me to work well with the passengers and fellow crew members. I have experience working without supervision and as a team. I'm confident to perform in front of lots of people. My passengers' safety is always my number one priority. I can be both a leader and a follower depending on the situation. I'm bilingual and currently learning a third language, French, to be able to connect with French speaking passengers better. Make the answer obviously relates to you, but you want to give them your best qualities. You want to let them know why you are a better candidate for this job than, let's say, a guy who's sitting next to you in the waiting room. Just give them the main selling points. So the next question we have is, I'm a customer who refuses to turn off or stow my laptop or phone. How would you handle me? You want to let them know that it's a federal requirement for all the phones and laptops to be turned off before we can proceed with the flight. It's for their own safety, first of all. You can just let them know the consequences of what's going to happen if they don't obey your instructions. They might have to pay the fine, the fee, they might have... If they delay a flight because they don't want to store their laptop, first of all, that's stupid. I'm not 100% sure about this, but there will be some consequences if they don't obey the instructions of the cabin crew. Passengers need to understand that the cabin crew is not asking them to turn off their laptops and take their headphones out because they just want to be annoying. Everything that the cabin crew will ever ask you to do will be for your own safety.